How are we? Greetings and welcome to the afternoon hour. Today is the adventures of sweating profusely and taking multiple showers. That actually rhymed. I'm seriously thinking of continuing this as a rhyme, but it's nasty. I'm taking multiple showers a day and beautiful, but super hot. And we don't really actually have water, so I should manage this differently, but I'm kind of capitalizing on the fact that I can take showers until we don't have water and I can't take showers. So it's either gonna be like super sticky throughout the day or just like relatively okay because I keep refreshing myself. I'm gonna be refreshing myself. As for this, one thing that comes to mind before I start this video is me making a statement like a week ago. And hear me out, man. It is fascinating how things connect. We had a statement 4 videos a day, 40 videos in 10 days, right? So I did that, everything was cool. The next day I up and started basically, I tried to kind of like start as well and make another 4 videos, and my Bluetooth speaker didn't work. So I was like, what's going on? It's connected to voice, it's connected to sound slash music, but not actually voice. So there's no mic, it's not working. I tried it a couple of times, waited till the next day, restarted it, recharged it, restarted the entire computer. It's like one of those, did you turn it on and off again for to see what the fuck's going on? Nothing. So what happened was I went and I got a new one, which did not connect to this computer for 3 days. Again, it did not connect. 2 days ago, I tried to connect and I was very frustrated. And then I was like, what the fuck? Why isn't it connecting? And the minute I asked myself that question, instead of like, this should work, this should work, this should work, what popped to my mind was like, you're gonna do 4 videos, now you're late 5 days in your face. And I'm like, why the hell is this happening? And yesterday, I kind of just turned on the computer and I was like, let's try to do something today and hopefully it will connect. And it connected. But because it connected, I kind of like went into one of those, connected. What the fuck, man? How the hell did this happen? And I went through a vibe and I kind of like took notes and all that good stuff. So today I'm recording the videos. To business. Uh, Today's video is about personal and business and what it really means. Personal and business and what it really means. Uh, so that so effectively, like everyone says, it's not personal, it's business. There's a certain reflection on business being kind of like professionally oriented. Like our interests are not at stake, it's the interests of the business. There's a certain separation between like what the business needs and what you need, and what are the things that you basically operate with. Not sure this is a reflection on life and how we operate through life, because I think life very much is a personal relationship. But we have to separate ourselves from it at one point and approach it from a more professional perspective, especially when it comes to like, am I doing this right? Am I not doing this right? Is this working? Am I happy? Am I not happy? I'm not happy. That means something is off or something is kind of like not really with where it's supposed to be. So it seems to be the same when it comes to like, like any endeavor that we do. The personal exists within it, or it exists within the personal. But the idea is that the personal itself is basically a reference point, maybe, and the business is the structure, maybe. So what effectively we're doing is we're kind of looking at the business and trying to work through it, but always reflecting on the personal in order to understand if it still complies with what the personal wants and desires out of it. But when it comes to the approach, it has to be very businessy, because we need to be more structured in how we actually build the conformity between the business's needs and your actual emotions. If this went out over your head, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I fucking wrote it down. And I think I wrote it down because me and a friend of mine at some point kind of had a like, this is happening a lot with me, isn't it? So this year, I like basically hung out with a total of, I guess, 3 people. And I don't want to hang out with any of them anymore. One of them completely was like, hey man, stop messaging me. I don't like your vibe. And I basically was myself a bit too much. And not in an energetic way, just more of the questioning that I'm always doing that made her uncomfortable. Another one, I was like, hey man, I don't want to talk to you. It's because it just kept becoming more and more. I kept becoming more and more like a part of her day. You know, like there's how many times can you tell somebody to not message you about random stuff just simply because you're doing things? I mean, I have that practically the same with my mom. Like I told my mom, you can't be messaging me this much. You have to kind of figure something out. And now we basically like actually maintained a good distance. But with the other person, it just couldn't happen. It just kept like it extends for a while, and then they would capitalize on something, and then keep coming forward and moving, and then I would push them, and they would keep coming forward. Uh, some married person, right? It's just like not really. What do you want? What is it that you're lacking in your life? Because I don't seem to kind of like be able to like be that friend to you. And at one point, I was like, you know what? I don't think we should hang out anymore. We still casually like interact, but that's it. Now the third person, I was just like really disappointed with like the bare minimum that of just kind of like what a person you know should do, right? Like you cannot promise me something, and when I cannot and promise me information, right? All I wanted was a link, was a contact, and it wasn't sent on the spot. And a week later, I kind of like messaged and I was like, hey, do you mind sending me the book? And that didn't occur to her to kind of like remember it until she saw me again. It's funny, all 3 people are women, right? Look, none of them was a romantic relationship to me. Maybe that's the issue. I see duds. I see people as like just be yourself. I'm not really like interested. But when it comes to like when it comes to support, I guess we all want to support in the activities that we are doing, and or in the activities that other people are doing. And one of them supported me in this business heavily. And I could there was like that blurry line where they couldn't distinguish between like, am I doing this for the business versus am I doing this for Tari? And I think that's what I'm kind of reflecting on right now. Because like for me, I didn't want to lose any of the two, but the once it's like going into like business with your brother, right? Like you kind of have to extract your personal relationship from it, which is also an experience I had. And ideally, you have to kind of like objectively always be looking at the picture and reflecting on yourself. So the personal in business is basically the relationship with people. And what does it really mean to have a good relationship with people, but not really a personal one? I ain't got no clue. I feel like any good relationship is a personal one. But for me, personal relationships are a relationship of understanding. That's basically where we kind of like where we kind of like integrate ourselves by what we're doing, and basically integrate ourselves in what we're doing, and basically explore our personal through what we're contributing in order for the others to form a relationship with that instead of a relationship with you. So it becomes like it sounds very like it's whole wholesome. It sounds very wholesome. Because ultimately, it's not me having a relationship with you, but it's my expression in this world having a relationship with the expression from the other side. And through that, engagements are not really biased, are they? Because ultimately, what we're doing is we're just kind of like exploring what we're trying to output instead of one doing it on their own, another person is doing it with you, or even more. This is changing the way I look at teams, I guess, and really sounds like just a positive way to redraw how two people can work together. Huh, it's a fucking video, isn't it? All right, babies. See you soon.